Hello and welcome everyone, I am Brandon, and we got a buttload of video game news to talk about today. We had the Gran Turismo 7 State of Play yesterday, and whew, that game is looking goddamn beautiful. We're gonna go through all the new information around the Gran Turismo 7 Real Driving Simulator, and more, on another episode of Game Corner. Thanks for joining me, everybody. If you guys like what I do, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and I'll stop wasting your time. So yeah, like I said, we had the Gran Turismo 7 State of Play yesterday. They kind of just showed off 30 minutes of different gameplay features, kind of what to expect from the game. It's obviously been quite some time since we've seen anything new from this game, so I think there was a lot of questions from people who maybe haven't played Gran Turismo before about what they could be getting into with this. And especially since it's been some time since we had a mainline game from the series, I think it's good that they kind of came in and talked about all the new features and gameplay mechanics you can expect from the game. So first things first, I have to point out that the State of Play runs at 4K and 60 frames a second. And obviously they do that to show off the beautiful, beautiful video game. They want you to get a really good idea of how the game looks and plays. I'm very curious to know if it actually runs at that when you're playing on the PS5, because as far as I'm concerned, there hasn't really been any games yet that run at 4K and 60 FPS, or at least any like big AAA name games like this one. So definitely curious to see kind of how that resolution and frame rate's gonna end up working out. I have a feeling it's gonna be like a 4K mode with 30 frames a second, or like 1440p or something with 60. Regardless of anything, this game is absolutely immaculate looking. It is pretty insane the amount of detail that they get out of the cars and the tracks, and we'll go through some of like the simulation aspects that they've added later on, and god damn. So it sounds like they want this game to be kind of like a good introduction for people who maybe aren't really into car games very much. Kind of giving you an easy place to come in and get comfortable with the world of cars, as they say. And that's also something I'm curious about, is kind of the accessibility that goes around that, because from the looks of it, the customization options get pretty nuts. So I'm curious if they have some sort of streamlined system that you can use so that you don't have to literally go in and tune every little thing about your car, unless you want to, of course. Moving on, they have 400 cars from various manufacturers around the world, and they're going to be adding more as time goes on, which is absolutely bonkers. Not to mention 34 locations with over 90 tracks, real and fantasy tracks. Sounds like they have a lot of like real world circuits, and they've added tracks from previous Gran Turismo games into this one. I imagine they've probably made some new ones as well. The whole game kind of takes place at this car resort where everyone celebrates cars and car history and stuff like that, which is kind of neat. It kind of reminds me of like Top Gear or something like that.
How hard can it be?
And if you played Gran Turismo before, this is kind of like your map area where you can go to different races and the marketplace and stuff like that. And from there, you kind of set off. You buy a little compact car of your choosing, and then you start racing it and upgrading and customizing to your heart's content. And from the looks of it, this is a true car PG. There are more than 60 customization options just as performance goes for each and every car. You can completely and utterly tune the car to your liking. So if you're into getting super nitty and gritty with the simulation, that's all there for you. And they really have just taken the actual like appearance customization for the cars to the next level. You can slap just about any sticker on the thing, make it look any way you want. I love the animation for the wide body. They have like pull the body of the car out. It's pretty great. And man, like I said, I think car PG is a great way to describe this. It reminds me a lot of Midnight Club, or even like Forza, obviously. I mean, Gran Turismo's obviously always sort of been about cars and customizing cars, stuff like that, but just the level of detail it goes into and allowing you to really make the car look however you want is just really cool. As far as the actual like simulation parts go too, it's pretty nuts. So obviously they have photorealistic cars with global illumination and ray tracing that really just makes them sparkle and shine and reflect the whole world around them. But they also have this absolutely bonkers weather and cloud formation system that literally affects like the humidity and temperature of the tracks, and that affects your cars. It goes so far to actually simulate the weather and like the wetness on the road. Depending on like if the sun is out, it'll start drying the road, or like where people are driving over more often, it'll dry faster. The track will actually form puddles in different areas of the track with like depressions in it, and those will take longer to dry up. I know this gets all into like really minutia bullshit, but it is pretty impressive the level they went to like actually make these literally real living spaces. And the whole sky is completely simulated to look exactly like it would look if you were in that location at that time with the weather effects all like they were. It's pretty ridiculous. I really do see where that subtitle, The Real Driving Simulator, comes from now. And just to top everything off, the music is top notch. They not only have your classic Gran Turismo like dub lounge shit, they also have everything from like indie rock bangers to like weird screamo and stuff like that even. Music and Gran Turismo have always been intertwined, and they even let you go as far to like sync up tracks to your driving and stuff like that. Just a bunch of these really neat features to really just flesh out this car experience. It's hard to even call it a game because obviously there are game mechanics to it, but it is literally an experience. It's a simulation. It goes so much further than just being like an arcade racer. It's pretty nuts, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, if you're interested at all, I would definitely recommend checking out that whole Gran Turismo State of Play. It is pretty long at 30 minutes, so that's why I kind of wanted to kind of round this all out. Like I said at the beginning, I think there's a lot of people who maybe haven't played Gran Turismo before, or it's been a long time since they've gotten into the franchise, and I think this State of Play was near perfection, honestly. They got in, got out, showed you exactly all the cool stuff you wanted out of this new game, gave newcomers an idea of what they're getting into, and gave old players kind of a fresh taste of what they're going to be getting out of this new package. Anyway, that's about all the Gran Turismo news I got to talk about today, guys. I'm Brandon. This was the Game Corner on the Gran Turismo State of Play. Thanks for watching, and have a kick-ass week.